Welcome. This is the Still Point Meditation Center in Vienna, Austria. And in view of the fact that we currently have the corona crisis, we cannot have our regular meetings. And that's why I thought it would be nice to offer some free video materials on YouTube so that you can watch them at home. Our meditations are usually based on two traditions: the Zen tradition from Japan and China, and the Advaita tradition from India. But in this video series, we will each time start with a koan from the Zen tradition, right? And that's from the Gateless Gate, or Mumonkan. It's a series of koans. So we will use such a koan as our starting point. Then in our sessions, we will not elaborate those koans in a typical Zen style. Instead, we will use metaphors and meditation pointers from the Advaita tradition so that we will elaborate it in those ways for you. Anyway, the only objective of these videos is to allow you, the viewer, to get a glimpse of what you truly are. The method that we use, Zen or Advaita or any other way, it's like the finger pointing at the moon. Who cares about this finger, about its shape, about the color? What really counts is the moon. What really counts is what you are, consciousness, Buddha nature. So it is my hope that by watching these videos, it may be helpful to you. It may be helpful for you to get a taste of that, what we are really talking about. You can have more information about us by looking at the first shot in this introductory video, and you will find there my email. Feel free to send me a message if you feel like, or you can also visit our meetup website that is also indicated on that screen. So we will immediately start now with the first koan in this series of the Gateless Gate or Mumonkan. And that is case number 1, Joshu's dog. It goes like this. A monk asked Joshu, a Zen master, does a dog have Buddha nature or not? Joshu answered, mu, or no. In order to understand what this question is all about, because after all they're speaking about Buddha nature, it is necessary to explain to you a little more in depth what is meant in the Zen tradition by Buddha nature. It's sometimes also called true nature. And those of you who are familiar with the Advaita tradition, it is also the same as what is referred to as consciousness or awareness. Each of those terms are just words anyway. Let's take a different word. Let's take the word kiwi. Kiwi, the word, has nothing to do with the green fruit itself, nor will the word kiwi provide you with the experience that the kiwi will produce in your mouth when you're eating it. In the same way, the words Buddha nature or consciousness will have nothing to do with what these words refer to. And they will also not give you a taste over there of what is meant by them. So, let me try to give you a taste of what is meant. Take, for example, a better look at the screen in front of you, the screen on which this image appears to you. You can see this image, but what exactly is it that sees this image? You may think, my eyes or my brains, but those are only processing the image. It's not your experience, what really ultimately sees this image. That is some kind of aware space. And that aware space is what we refer to as Buddha nature in Zen or consciousness in Advaita. Another example. Let's take the sounds that you hear. You may be surrounded by different sounds in your own room, and you can hear my voice also. But that is the sounds that you hear. But what is it exactly that hears this sound? It's again, you could say my ears or my brain, but no, these are just processing the sounds. The experience of what hears these sounds is something beyond that. It's some kind of an aware space. And again, that space is often what is referred to when we talk about Buddha nature, under quotes, or consciousness. We can also take the example of smell and taste. For example, if you smell a rose, that smell is there in front of you, but what is ultimately experiencing it? In what kind of space does that experience arise? That again is consciousness, Buddha nature. Or in the case of a taste, if you eat a strawberry, what ultimately is experiencing the taste of the strawberry? It's consciousness again. And two more examples are thoughts and feelings. Imagine you're thinking about something like a pink elephant. That image of a pink elephant in your thought comes up, but where does that image comes up? It comes up in some kind of space, aware space, which again is referred to these two words as consciousness or Buddha nature. Same with a feeling. Someone says something terrible to you and you feel angry. Where does that anger come up? That is again felt by something. That space is again the same thing, consciousness or awareness or Buddha nature. You may call it with the word you like. It doesn't matter. What matters is that experience. So, in short, sights, sounds, smells, tastes, feelings, and thoughts all can be seen as some kind of object. And that which ultimately experiences all these objects is the subject, is what you usually call I. And that is actually what we're talking about, consciousness, Buddha nature. Now that you have a better idea about those terms, Buddha nature, let's read the koan again and see if we can make a little more sense of it. A monk asked Joshu, a Zen master, "Does a dog have Buddha nature or not?" Joshu answered, "Mu," or no. So the question is now equivalent to, does a dog have consciousness? And of course, most of us would agree that just like human beings, a dog is aware, a dog is conscious, it has consciousness, just like any other animals, by the way. But yet this Chinese Zen master Joshu says no, Mu. And in Zen we are asked to ponder about this. Why this response, while it is so obvious that a dog is conscious? So in order to approach this question, let me now use a metaphor, which is more based on the Indian tradition Advaita, and which is the metaphor of the sky and the clouds. So imagine the vast sky in which some white clouds appear. The clouds, just like this one in the sky, the clouds have a certain shape, they have a certain color, they have a certain density and weight, and they move at a certain speed in the sky. But the sky, however, it's different. The sky is vast. The sky is limitless, colorless, transparent, and it definitely has no boundaries. So even the space contained in this cloud, it's just sky. The sky doesn't stop here and start there. The sky is all over the cloud, in the cloud, around the cloud, everywhere. So the question then asked to Joshu, using this metaphor, is, does a dog have Buddha nature or not? It's equivalent to, does this cloud has the sky or not? Does a limited object like a cloud or like a dog or like a human body has infinite consciousness? The reverse may definitely be true. The infinite consciousness, they can contain limited objects. The sky can contain clouds, and consciousness definitely can contain dogs, human beings, and other animals. But the way that the question was asked, does a dog have Buddha nature? The answer can then very easily be no. The limited cannot contain the unlimited. Of course, this koan can be seen in a variety of different ways, and what I just mentioned now is just my rendering of it. If you take a more Zen style response to the question, does a dog have Buddha nature? The answer generally just would be moo. That would be more Zen style. But what matters after all is that you now may take a few moments to savor for yourself what this sky, this unlimited consciousness, your true nature really tastes like. Just focus on that what sees. Just focus on that what hears. Just focus on what perceives your thoughts, what perceives your feelings, what experiences the tastes and the smells surrounding you. And then attest to yourself that this is just like the sky, limitless, colorless, ever-presence. Thank you very much. I wish you all a very great day, and we will be back with case number 2 of the Gateless Gate.